Abraham is the father of everybody because of faith, not because of
Yeah,
works.
All right.
exactly.
But
All
if
right.
you see
All
what
right.
you're
So
talking about with the circle,
If you go back to Genesis 15:6 again, it says it was counted to him righteous because of his faith, and he's the father of faith. He's the father of everybody because of faith. When God made the promise to Abraham, He said, "I'm gonna multiply your seed as like the grains of the sand," not because of anything Abraham was going to do. It was because the faith that God was all Abraham would do, put the faith in God, and God was going to do the rest of the work and multiplying his seed. And it wasn't going to be his seed. It was going to be the work of God.
But that was by promise, not by faith.
Cor-
That was by promise.
Yeah, but Abraham had to believe the promise. Abraham
Mm,
actually, and listen, Abraham actually tried to do work. And when he
all
tried to do
right.
work, what
This
did
is
he do? No,
let me
hold,
read this.
stop. No, hold on. Abraham actually tried to do work. And what did he do when he did work? What did he do?
What did he
When
do
he
when
tried
he did
wait,
work?
wait.
when he tried to bring the when God made the promise to Abraham,
Hmm.
and Abraham tried to do the work rather than walk in faith, what did Abraham do? He slept with Sarah's handmaid.
Yep.
That was the
What?
work.
Wait. Slow down.
No, no, no,
Oh, now it's
no,
no.
no. That wasn't work. That wasn't. I'm confused.
No.
Wait, what?
So for the next 10 minutes or so, my fellow faith aloner on the panel, John, he's trying to give this analogy, drawing a parallel between salvation by faith alone and salvation by faith plus works, and the story of Abraham with Ishmael and Isaac. He's trying to draw a parallel, but it kind of gets jumbled up because they're asking questions and Hamp interjects and they start talking, and so I just wanted to give a more concise explanation of what John was trying to say. And so the parallel that he's trying to draw is that God made a promise to Abraham, okay? God made a promise to all of humanity. The promise that God made to Abraham is that I'm going to do something for you that would be impossible in your own strength, which is conceive a child being a very old man with a very old wife. The promise that God makes to humanity is that I am going to be your only way to heaven. I alone am going to save you. And so Abraham and his wife doubted the clear promise that God gave them, and they did something in their own understanding. They did something that made sense to them and had Abraham impregnate her handmaiden Hagar. We as humans, a lot of people, most people, do things in their own understanding and think that I have to have a part in my own salvation. I can't just rest solely on Jesus. I have to do something. I can't, it can't just be free, like God said. And so Abraham got punished because he did not trust on the promise that God made. And therefore, the son that he has with Hagar has to be banished into the wilderness. The people who do not believe the promise that God gives get banished into hell because they don't trust the promise. Abraham eventually does have the faith to trust God, and the impossible happens. A miracle happens where God allows two very old people to conceive a child. When people trust the promise that God gave to humanity, that He alone will save them, a miracle happens where they are passed from death to life, and they, solely on the merit of Jesus Christ, can have entrance into heaven. And so that's the parallel that John is trying to make that the other panelists aren't really picking up on. And so, I didn't talk to him after the show, but I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what he was trying to say. He was trying to draw a parallel between how Abraham lacked faith and went off his own understanding. God tells us, don't rely on your own understanding, but lean on God. And how humans rely on their own understanding to try to get them, the promise that God has for them. But when we lean on our own understanding, we mess up the promises of God. And so I think that's what he was saying.